Welcome back to I Have Way Too Many Hobbies. So today I want to talk about bookbinding or making your own notebooks. It's something I've been watching on YouTube a lot, and I finally decided to get my hands in, try it out myself. I write a lot of notes, something I learned a long time ago, going through school, is to use notes to get through, and it's been very helpful, and I've continued to use it my entire life, work-wise and personally. So and I collect notebooks as well, different types. So this is my first attempt at making my own notebook. I think it turned out pretty good. I like the way it looks. I just used blank pages on the inside. You can see the little knot for the stitching. And I really like this book. Some things I wish I had used a smaller thread or a thinner thread. Because as you saw earlier, this is pretty big, I think. I don't know. See what it would look like. And I wish I had spent more time where I punched the holes here, taking the time to clean that up. I could probably still do something now, maybe. But otherwise, I'm just going to leave this alone, and this is my book. And when I'm done using the book, well, I don't know when I'm going to use this one personally. That's book number 1. Turned out pretty good. Book number 2, I attempted to go bigger. So there's, I believe, 5 different pages I folded and sewn together. Still turned out pretty good. I used slightly jute twine, I think it's called, and it turned out pretty good. Wish I had used something thinner, and somewhere along the way, as I'm sewing this, I did something wrong. And by the time I realized it, which was fairly quick, I just went, the hell with it, kept going, because it was holding. So I'm going to have to come back and do a third one of these books and try it again. Then I spent a lot of time trying to work out the cover. So you can see I got a piece of nice cardboard over here, glued in and folded for the papers. But I've been wanting something here. So I started looking at different options. And here's what I'm thinking of doing. This is just a piece of foam, craft foam that you picked up at the dollar store. With the horrible, I hate those, but what are you going to do? I was thinking to get that, gluing this on first, and then when this is glued and cut, I would like to add this as the cover. We're getting close to the colder months. Winter's coming, the snow is coming, so I thought this would be a nice cover for the book on top of the piece of foam. So I'm going to do that today in today's video. So I'm put this together. Now this is where I'm getting to the part where I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just something I want to share. Other people can watch. I don't know, whatever. I have no expectations of anything. But I know that at some point my videos are going to get long, and I'm going to have to learn how to do video editing. And that's not something I really know. I have Shotcut downloaded on the computer, and it's just been sitting there. I just don't have the time to really learn how to use the program, knowing that I'm going to have to stop saying that and actually do it. So this video, I'm hoping, isn't it, because I'd like to post it today, and I'm talking way too much. So a bit of a warning. I'm just starting out on a lot of stuff, okay? So I don't use proper equipment all the time or proper tools. And this is going to be one of those cases. If you are into bookbinding of any kind, you know darn well you don't use white glue. But that's what I'll be using today. So please don't cringe too much. Okay, so I'm going to start off by putting some of the white glue on the paper. Nothing too fancy, nothing. Okay. This is just dollar store white glue, nothing fancy. I might have put too much there, but that's okay. And I'm going to use just a dollar store paintbrush to spread it around. Nothing fancy, okay? And if you were into note binding, probably wishing I had used correct glue, some sort of archival glue or something. Oh, I didn't get it close enough to the edge, eh? Okay, let me getting worried that I'm going to glue the pages together, but I don't mean to. So let's put some little paper here. There we go. This will be phase 1 or step 1. I don't know. Call it whatever you like. I'm going to have to get a bigger toothbrush, maybe one of those, because it's not spreading it out well and it's not getting it to where I want to. Something I already knew was going to happen. Never said I was smart, just, or talented. Okay. This will just have to be good enough, I hope. I'm kind of worried it's not going to stick in the corners here. Okay. Yeah, I got a feeling it's not going to stick in the corners. So let's start with this. Put the foam on. I'm not going to be too fancy at it on because I'm going to cut it afterwards. I'm going to cut it to the size of the notebook. Put a little, whoop, there's 2 of them here. I'll just put one on top. And I have these little weight things here. They're 5 pounds a piece, but they're going to do the job. Where's the other one? There it is. I got too much junk in here. Hobby room is just full of stuff. So I'm going to pause the video here for a little bit. Give this a chance to dry. Oof, I have cats, so notice the hair everywhere. And then I'm going to come back and we'll do the spine, okay? All right, so that should have been enough time. Let's see what's happened. Okay. And actually it's, oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it on the camera, but I got pretty close to the edge here, so, but that's okay. This still works, it'll still work. All right. Running out of places to put stuff. I just don't have enough space. Need a bigger home, bigger house. All right, now the part that has had me worried, and I'm kind of worried now because I don't think this piece of foam, oh, hang on. Even though I did it very crooked and very poorly, you know what, it'll still work. Is how I'm going to get this foam to glue here and touch. The foam doesn't want to naturally. And then to keep it there, I'm going to have to find a way to glue it, keep it up, push down. I would have been better to put something here. Okay, well, won't worry about it now. Am I going to try to glue the base? I think I should leave and not glue the back on and just leave it like this. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to glue, we're not going to glue the back's spine because I don't think it'll hold anyways. Hang on. Well, let's glue it. I honestly don't think it'll stick though. Let's just put a little dab of glue here. Now that's not going to be what I considered the issue. The issue is going to be how I'm going to get this, and it has to be so that it gets the whole book. Otherwise I won't have anything to... Yeah, I don't see that working, but we're going to give it a try anyways. Okay. Oh man, I think I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, this is definitely not going to work. So how do I want to do this now? You know what? I'm just going to leave it like this. I'll pause the video for a bit. I'll come back. It's definitely, it's not going to hold it back, but you know what? That's fine. Let's let the glue dry a little bit, and we'll come back. All right. So I pretty much have an idea how this worked out. Not the way I originally thought, but that's okay. I had some time to think about this. I don't think it needs to. Even if the back spine isn't, well, look at this, it might be glued. Oh no, it just came right apart. Okay, isn't glued on. I don't really need it glued on. So I'm just going to glue this part and leave it at that. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have to put this underneath here at some point anyways. And let's get this back in here again. All right. And everybody's favorite glue. I should get a, clean that up in a bit. Okay. Oh. All right. Let's glue this on. I probably should learn how to edit videos real soon. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's get this on. Oh my goodness, it might work. Okay, where is, oh, here we go. All right. Oh dear goodness. All right, so let's pause the video here and I'll come back in about 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Let's see what kind of disaster I've made. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. This should be enough. The glue will get a chance to dry a lot more later. I hope. Anyways, let's see what kind of disaster I've created. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a, let me go get my paper towels up here. I gotta, I keep in the little workshop. Because Lord knows you need paper towels. All right. I don't hate it, but it definitely has a lot of room for improvement. Oh, and I've managed to bend the paper? Or is that just me? Oh, there you go. Weird. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I wish, okay, well, you know what? This isn't the worst, but I could have done a lot better. So now what I'm going to do is grab a knife and cut all the way around the extra foam. Speaking, okay. Now here's where I show off where I don't exactly have the proper equipment yet. This is my cutting board. Barely. Actually, in this case, it's not even bigger. It's pretty much the same size. So you have to be a little bit, well, I guess I got this dollar store mat underneath. So if I cut into that, it's not a big deal. Just go spend another $4, get another one. But I'd rather not, you know. I like to take care of my stuff and blah, 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 and blah. Now this is going to be tricky to cut. I'm going to have to think about this one a bit because I don't want to cut. Oh yeah, this is going to be tricky. Let's give this a try. The paper is bending. The blue paper anyways. It's creating a weird situation here where I'm not seeing things properly, so it's not being cut properly. Look at that. Okay, let me get my glasses here to help me out. There, that's a whole lot better. Now, to cut this, there we go. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I'm not talking too much. Okay. And this is the part I think is going to be very tricky. Okay, so you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll continue cutting the book like this. Okay. Well, that turned out really nice. That cut really nice. Okay. So now I should be able to just cut the book. Oh, sorry, you're not going to be able to see much of anything here. I've already made my first mistake. Look at that. Well, maybe not my first mistake, but a mistake. Not on. Okay. Yeah, there it is. There's my first mistake. Okay. All right. Here. All right, let's cut this. Well, that turned out really nice. And, oops, here we go. Okay, let's take a look at this sucker. So, it turned out a little bit better than I thought it was going to. Definitely some problems, but nothing. I like the feel. I really like the feel. I think I made the right choice here with the foam. Some of you might disagree. I don't know. All right, so let's do a bit of a cleanup here. Let me get my garbage bag, my garbage can. Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I'm quite happy with how this has turned out so far. Now comes the challenging part. I don't know how I'm going to do this part. Now, every time I see anybody doing bookbinding and they do this, they always make it a little bit extra wide so that they can cut. Oh, I might not have an option here. And bend the paper over. Oh. Okay, so I want it to go like this. So the book is like this. Ooh. I might have issues with bending the paper. Or it's going to have to be very, very small. Oh yeah, see, the foam has added some challenges I didn't properly plan for. I know I'm thinking I know what I did wrong, but okay. So let's glue. Let's remove this first. Now let's glue the book on here. Now I wasn't going to do it this way. I was going to, but I think okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys, everyone. I'm just thinking a lot here. I realize that at the end of this, it's not going to be the nicest looking book, but I think for my second one and my first one with multiple folds, I think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, some might disagree. All right. Let's bring this paper back into the... Okay. Oh. You guys ready for this? Oh. Okay. If I sound like I'm getting nervous, it's because I am. I could see the mistakes I've already made. I have an idea on how to not make those mistakes again in the future. Some of you are probably already going use the correct glue. Someday I'll either purchase or make my own. A lot of the YouTubers I've been watching make their own glue, and I should have used a better brush than this to spread the glue around, but I don't have a... I could go to the dollar store. I think I'm going to get a brush that's thicker so I could spread the glue around a lot better. Oh my goodness, I'm having trouble pronunciation today. And I think there's too much glue in here. I think it's going to show on the paper. So that may be another mistake I've made. Okay. do you guys think? Think I messed it up? All right. Let's give the glue about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and we'll come back and, oh my goodness. We'll see what kind of disaster I've created. All right. Back again. We're going to go on to the next step. All right. Where's my glasses? So far, you know what? I'm not. Oh, yeah, you could see, you could feel and see. I put way too much glue here. So you could see the little bumps and feel it's like damp. That doesn't surprise me, but I was hoping. This is going to, you know, I'm going to be happy with this when it's done, I'm sure. But all the errors, all the things I did wrong, and I've done a lot. And a lot of them are pretty silly, or, you know, I don't want to say dumb, but they're pretty silly. And, you know, I knew better, but I did them anyways. So I can't, you know, nobody else to blame but me. I'm going to do this again. I'm using a notebook right now I carry around with me for work and bring to work and back. And when that notebook is done or is full, and I personally write in the notebooks, and then when I get a chance, I'll go on the computer and put them all in Obsidian, which is where I keep all my notes. Just, I'm weird like that, I guess. I don't know. It's something I've been doing for a long time. Obsidian is something I've been doing since last year, I guess. Just started, but note taking and then leaving them on the computer using Notepad++, for example. So now I have to make a decision. Do I want to try to glue the spine to this paper or just leave it free and just go like this? I don't think I'm going to glue the spine because the spine isn't glued to start off with the foam. So I think I should leave that free and just glue next side. And you can see I've already got the paper crooked. How did I accomplish that? Yeah. So this may cause me a little bit of an issue. For a guy who wants to fold it, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to fold it. Okay. That's fine. I definitely need to make another one. I did a poor job on this one. Not that I hate what I've done, but I've made simple mistakes that shouldn't have been made. And maybe when I do the second one, I could take the time to actually purchase or make archival glue, which would be a lot more, well, appropriate, I guess, for this. Okay, not as much glue this time. Just put it on and there we go. All right. All right, let's brush that on. My goodness. I think I'm going to have to glue this paper here, or I'm gluing it now, sorry. Cut it like I did the foam. Just cut it instead of folding it up and in, which is not what I wanted to do, but I'm going to have to work out a better way to put this on the paper, right? And not be so crooked all the time. Because I got a feeling that's something an error I'll be repeating a lot if I don't take the time to do it right. I definitely need a larger, thicker brush too. Okay. Here comes the hard part. Okay, you off the paper, please. Kind of too late now, isn't it? Well, you know what? I don't hate it. Okay. Wish I had done a better job, but I don't hate it. All right. Again, I'll come back in another 5-10 minutes and we'll go from there. My goodness. Alrighty, guess who's back? Let's take a look at what my mess that I've done here. You know what? Get my glasses. I want to really get a good look at this. I think even though I've made a lot of mistakes, I did a lot better with the glue here. I didn't put it, you could, oh my goodness, I don't know if you could see that in the camera. The little bumps coming out. Yeah, you could see them, some like right there. That's because I put too much glue. On this side, when I push less, it looks great. Still the wrong glue, but it looks good and it feels good. This here, you could feel the dampness. So, lesson learned. Not that I won't repeat the mistake at some point, but yeah, and I know better than that too. I know better not to put so much glue. Okay, that's fine. So now let's look at the paper. I'm going to have to change my plan. Originally, I just wanted the paper to stick out enough, to be thick enough to fold it over, like cut it and fold it. Well, cut this, of course. But as you can see, I put the book in crooked, so I'm not going to be able to really fold. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is cut it. Now we're going to go back to the part where you're probably not going to see me do a lot of this stuff, or a lot of it's going to be hidden from the camera view. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can, a little bit at least. Okay, let me just, you know what, let's just cut it all, and then we'll worry about cutting into the book a little bit as well. The book wasn't perfect. All right, well, I don't hate it. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Again, don't hate it, but let's make this a little thicker here. Okay. No, I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Okay. Pretty messy, but you know what? Very messy. this on the cutting board so I don't. Okay, well, all right. And the last little piece where you could see I've done things in a disastrous way. And I'm not on the cutting board, am I? No. All right. Oh, can I do something about this? I need to stop. Okay. So let's clean this up. And let's take a look at the disaster I've done. Throw this out as well. Okay, so I've made a lot of mistakes making this notebook here. And as you've just witnessed, I've made more. But you know what? I'm sitting here thinking about it, looking at every little defect, and there's definitely a lot of them. I'm still happy, you know, from my very first try. I'm sure a lot of you out there would probably have done a more better job your first time, but I'm pretty happy. The cuts on the sides, they're rough. You could tell I didn't, you know. And I know there's equipment to help me with that. Right now, I don't have any plans on trying to acquire any of that. I'm still going to do things with a, you know, a simple knife and whatever tools I happen to have available. And if this turns into more than just a little casual hobby, and I start making these a little more than I realize, I'll look into it then. Otherwise, I got to tell you, I'm very happy with the book. I wish I hadn't put so much glue, made the mess here. But yeah, I'm very happy with this book. And a lot of lessons have been learned, so I can't wait to see how I'll do the next one. The next book I do like this, notebook, that when I decide to make, I'm going to do the whole process from beginning to end. So you could see all the mistakes I make and etc. as the process happens and how I learn and get better at it with time. I'm talking too much and I'm not sure exactly what to say right now, so I'm just going to leave it at this. Unfortunately, the knowledge I know is that for me to do this next notebook, the next time I wanted to, notebook number 3, and when I record it, I'm going to have to learn how to do video editing, because I can't take a notebook that takes me days to make and just, you know, have a 72-hour video. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please be kind in the comments if you do decide to comment, and I'll see you next time, okay?